Hi there, Cancer. Here's a general look at your solar chart for July 2011. Now, in July, the Sun is in your sign until the 23rd, meaning, in general, the way that should be clearer for you to get on with the kinds of things you want to do for yourself. But on the very first day of July, you're going to have a new moon in your sign and a partial solar eclipse. So that's very significant. And at that time, those things you know you need to do for yourself, but maybe you just haven't got around to, you haven't got the time, you haven't got the inclination, you're too busy. That's when you should be no longer procrastinating. If you want to improve your appearance, if you want to just feel better, if you want to get something nice for yourself, or get some therapy, or whatever it is, then in those first 3 days, particularly the first day, if possible, you should take that one step, or in fact maybe even more than one step, towards that. You're going to be a little bit more sensitive probably at that time, more subject to kind of mood fluctuations, and others could see you as a bit more demanding. However, if you're less outward focused and more inward focused on yourself, you should be going with the flow of that energy a lot better. And if changes need to be made in any area of your life, really you should focus on changing something for yourself and not them. You see, so it really is about you, me. And that is particularly in those first 3 days. And if you set that precedent on that very sort of powerful eclipse energy point, then that will have a good knock-on effect for you over the month, or in fact more than 1 month to come. Now, it's likely that there's going to be moments when you're going to put yourself out more for others, even when you're not in the mood. But from the 3rd, you'll be coming into a very sociable and enjoyable sort of a time, being more outward focused in your mood, maybe because you've taken such good care of yourself previously, and having the fuel for that, having the power in your batteries for that, and relationships of all kinds are going to be highlighted. Favorably highlighted, boosting in some cases your love life, or expanding your social circle, and you're going to be turning your warmest, most friendly face to the world, being quite open, whereas in the previous period you maybe felt a bit closed for some reason. And so you will get more opportunity to party, really, to have fun, to relax, which is a good thing, as your energy levels, your physical energy levels could be lower, and you shouldn't expect too much of yourself on that sort of very physically active outward level. Let the others take the strain. And it's going to be like that until early August, when your vitality, your physical vitality, will begin to improve. So really you should be going into the healing, nurturing, fun, entertaining, relaxing activities whenever you can. I mean, really try and make space for that. And you'll be a bit more open to your emotions and other influences around you, so just be aware of that, and therefore give more attention to your boundaries, your shielding, your defenses, and your personal needs, and stay close, to your instincts. Now, I previously mentioned the slower moving planets and the outer planets from Jupiter outwards, so I'll do that again. Jupiter's now in Taurus, and that's going to be very favorably highlighting group gatherings, friendships in your life, social networking activities for about a year. This recent move of Jupiter will help you also to make progress with a long-awaited, long-cherished dream or hope that you've sort of harbored for a very long time, and maybe get you thinking along different lines. Maybe you'll be thinking futuristically and unconventionally too, because the area that Jupiter's gone into is very, can be a bit exotic or bizarre or unconventional, and it is the area to do with innovation, creative innovation. But also, as I say, it's about, you're getting very much closer to something that you've just not had the time to really, or you haven't been in the right situation to get into. And so Jupiter is going to help you to do that if you tap into that energy over this next 12 months. Until autumn 2012, Saturn is making some strong pulses into your sign from your opposite, from a sign which is at to do with your family relationships and your emotional area for you. In fact, all the cardinal signs and your cardinal signs are getting some very challenging energies coming into them at the moment. So this Saturn energy will affect, as I say, the dynamics within family or tribe, or to do with neighborhood, community connections, and it may be related to your domestic setup, your home base, your place on the map, and there may have to be some reorganization going on related to any of those areas. Some of you may be changing your place on the map or wanting to. And it's just that something about where you are, or your family, or a family member just need more TLC. They need you to be responsible. They need you to be there. And there could be slowdowns here. You could feel that things are moving very slowly, and that there's hiccups and glitches. Really, you're trying to tie up loose ends from the past, and kind of maybe there's a waiting game going on there. There could be, as I say, slowdowns, because that's the nature of Saturn in any of those areas. And also you could feel that it's kind of harder to reach your overall life goals due to a kind of a resistance or hiccup or glitch coming from others. Also, past attachments, emotional attachments which seem to hold you back, or even your own conditioned reflexes, your emotional conditioning, which you kind of find counterproductive, because whenever you react like that, it always sends you down that same old hole in the road, and prevents you from achieving your master plan. So Saturn here is going to really flag that up for you, and put you maybe sometimes between a rock and a hard place, because that's what Saturn does in order to teach us a hard lesson about how we've got to change and improve so that we can move on. There is a value in this. In fact, it's a great value, which you may not fully realize at the moment, but you will do further down the line, and that could even mean months or years ahead from this long, slow Saturn transit in this sector of your at the root of your chart, because it is all about growth, but it's kind of very, very slow, and you've got to overcome things along the way. If it's to do with property matters or your place on the map, you kind of might feel stuck with this. Again, that you should be maybe turning your attention more inwards and just kind of play the waiting game, but get on with other things. And you could be really pleased about what you're discovering about your deeper emotional needs, your reactions, your conditionings, and so on. Now, another slow-moving planet, Uranus, will be transiting the top of your chart for many years, and it's just started going through there, so that does signal that new beginnings will be happening with your career and your general life direction and your overall life goals. And it'll mean change, but also a kind of an experimental feel, through the use of trying out different incarnations, maybe, or methods within your current incarnation, and also through the use of unusual, unconventional sort of equipment. Maybe it could be like that. And any of those things could be a governing factor on the public side of your life. Getting your head around, new pieces of kit and so on, or working in a different kind of a way, which is really more at the cutting edge of things. So a previous structure is going to probably have to come down and be replaced by this new array of options, some of which can be challenging, and you'll probably be really fascinated, actually, as you go forwards, maybe sometimes a bit on the edge of your seat, because you don't know whether you're doing it right. So you have to be flexible and adopt to sometimes, and adapt yourself to a sometimes fast-moving, unusual sort of environment, and maybe feeling a bit ambushed as well at times. So it's just important for you to realise that's the action of Uranus, that's its job. Just roll with those changes, but also keep a steady eye, on the horizon, and a firm hand on the wheel as far as you can. And this month Uranus will be affecting those of you born in the first week, or with the first 7 degrees of Cancer rising. Neptune has also moved temporarily into Pisces, bringing huge benefits your way, Cancer, and boy, do you need them. The blurred boundaries or lack of control maybe that you felt over your financial situation, your property, legal things, or other resources, or kind of moral obligations as well, because you had to rely on someone else's rules, requirements. This is going to seem less of a concern until it goes out of there again in August, and then you late Cancerians might be feeling that again. But actually, this is going to lead you into a new dimension of thought and feeling in close relationships, but also in relationships which are connected to monetary, the monetary sort of area, and to do with property. And you can feel with this new position, although be it temporary position of Neptune, quite inspired by the insights and the truths that you are discovering. And Cancerians born in just the first 2 days, or with the first 2 degrees of Cancer rising, are going to feel this influence most strongly this month. Pluto will be in your close one-to-one relationship area, so it's your opposite sign, and it's going to be there for many years. And that means that significant others are going to be playing a role at maturing you and evolving you, even though they don't know they're doing it probably, because you're going to be very sensitive to what they're getting up to, their behavior, their attitude to you, you seeing yourself through their eyes, and those others are going to be transforming your life in a meaningful way, as I say, even though they don't know they're doing it, because what's small for them is going to seem huge for you. This is a time for you to therefore know who you are, to claim your inner power and draw the right person, if there isn't the right person there at the moment, into your life. So maybe you've got to get out of your own way, out of your illusions and delusions and disappointments and blames and fears, and shift your point of attraction so as to enable the universe to feed you with wherever or whoever or whatever you need on these fundamental levels of your being. And you Cancerians born 25th of June into July, or with 3 to 9 degrees of Cancer rising, will feel this influence most strongly this month. And from the 23rd, wealth, finances, property, or anything which affects your basic material security, your physical well-being, and your shopping list is going to be highlighted, and that's it for July. If you know your rising sign, listen to that too, throw another light on what I've said here. And I'll see you the next time.